Yeah, I'm in the process of moving smaller plants to bigger pots. See, what I do normally when I start a plant in as a seed, I start them in cups like this. And when they get up about this size here, see, there's a small one that's not ready to go yet. These are. And then I put them in pots about this size. Then when they get up about as big as this one here is, this is a loquat, by the way. And I just learned something. I thought loquats were Japanese plums, but they're not Japanese plums. They originated in China. They're Chinese plums. But then I go from that little pot to this pot, which is a lot bigger. This is a pepper plant. And then I go to the next permanent pot from the pepper plants, and you can see the difference in the size. So what I'm saying, why go why not? It just seems like a lot of extra work not necessary. You could actually start a seed in that pot right there, that biggest one, and not have to go through all that changing like right now I'm having to see. This pot here, I've got to move this to a pot this size, which is let's see. So what I'm saying now, see, these pepper plants do fine in these pots this size here once they get mature. But now I've got to take this pot, this plant, and put into this pot. Why not just start it in that pot? That will save all this, and it's kind of difficult when they're this size here. This has got blooms on it already. So I don't know. I'll try to show you doing this. Go. I'm gonna do a little example of what I'm talking about here. This one here has to go in this bigger pot. It will grow in this pot that it's in, but it will do much better in the bigger pot that's got more root room and everything. And what I have to do, what I have to do is put a little extra dirt in this pot. And then I need to get this. I have to get it in there like so. And this is somewhat of a shock to these plants when you do them when they're this big. But and as you can see, it's extra work. Now I got it. I have to wet it down real good. Now, that's in the pot. It'll finish, it'll do a lot better in this pot. Now the point I'm trying to make, I don't know, is there a reason that you would start that in instead of starting them in a little pot like this, just start the seed in that? I don't know, but it's just a lot of work. When say I fill this thing up with dirt, Now, just say I have that pot. I'll start a couple of seeds in this. Now this, now, so I'll just kind of watch this. That's, it's a lot of, see, I've got like, right now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, wait a minute. I've got I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 more plants in this size pot here that has to be transferred to these bigger pots. And I don't know, I've got 1, 2, 3, I've maybe got 6 of these bigger pots left. I'm limited, very limited. But I don't see, let's see. Let's see, I hope that stands up on its own. Oh, boy. I'm gonna do this one here. I'm not sure what kind of pepper plant that is. Let's see if I got it marked. It's a big tie. It's a big tie. But anyway, that's the point I'm trying to make. Could I just, from now on, when I start something from seed, just automatically go to the big pot and just start it in that? You don't have to do all that changing. Because anytime you pull a plant up like I just did that one, it is a, oh my goodness, look at the rain. It's gonna be raining directly. I better hurry up. Anyhow, that's the point I'm trying to make here. Folks, let me tell you something about tomato plants. You may or may not know. But these here, I got 4, these are little suckers off of that big tomato plant over there. And I can, tomato cuttings like this, I got 4 here, and in about a week, these will be, it's hard for me to reach up there and do this, but anyway, I stick them in a little bottle of water like so, and about a week I'll be able to look in here and I'll see roots on these, and I'll have 4 new tomato plants. And these are nice, healthy roots. I'm gonna go ahead. I've got 1, 2, I've got 3 mature plants. That one out there, that's got tomatoes all over it. And where you get those, I call them suckers. What happens, I don't see any suckers on this one, but there will be some. Well, there's a sucker starting right there. It's not big enough to cut, but they go up between this limb and the main stalk, and you let them get up about as big as those I just showed you, and you can cut them off and root them, and you got another plant. That's just another way that you can propagate. Tomatoes, they're pretty unforgiving. You can make a plant deep. You don't have to. In other words, I could pile some dirt up around this up there, and it's starting to rain. Yeah, it's starting to rain. I'm gonna have to get my butt inside. Anyway, just another tip. Something I've learned. I guess you noticed I found my hat. It was under my bed all the way up against the wall. And yesterday when I was looking for it, I asked Jaden to look under the bed, see if we could see the hat. Of course, he said it wasn't under there. But that's where it was at. That's where it was at. I got rained out. I'm gonna, tomorrow, if the weather's fit, I want to get some of that stuff out there on the deck needs to be planted in the ground. And I want to do it in the back of the house where it has full sun. I wonder if I need to take my hat off. Yeah, I think I will. I'm not physically able to get up and dig with a shovel. but I can sit on my scooter. Hopefully I got enough battery charge to go. My battery won't be here till a good couple of days, about from the battery charger. But I can dig with the hoe. I can sit up and swivel my seat out and dig the holes. And there's several things I'm wanting to plant in the ground. And I would like to have about 10 or 15 5-gallon buckets full of soil to plant some stuff in. You can do container garden pretty easy if you got big enough containers. I've got this one tomato plant. It's big, mature. It's about 4 foot tall, and it's got pretty good sized tomatoes on it. And I got some other ones. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 4 tomato plants. It's pretty big. One of them is really big. And my daughter has that out there where the Mexican tulips is at. We're getting squash and cucumbers off of that now. And I think she's a couple of zucchinis laying in the refrigerator she picked yesterday, or was it this morning? It might have been this morning. But I'm wanting to get most of that, even the containers. I want them to sit out in the backyard, up close to the back of the house, but they'll get full sun there. The only thing is, I'll have to hook another hose out back to keep that stuff watered. Because in container garden, it's been my experience, you have to have let me see if I can see that. You have to have keep them watered. You have to water just about every day because the containers dry out quick, especially those grow bag containers. The buckets, they're not so fast, but the grow bags, it's some kind of a material, and it breathes and it loses moisture fast. And there's a couple other packs of seeds. I wonder if I could get her to take me to Walmart or Lowe's tomorrow, and there's some seeds I want to get. I can't think of the name of them, but when I see them, I'll recognize them that I want to plant. And we have here in this Florida, our growing seasons is a lot longer than, say, up in North Carolina or South Carolina or up in Georgia. They don't have, their grow season is not as long as ours is here. Boy, my chest is still hurting. No, it's not hurting as bad. I did get about 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night, but then my back started hurting about 4:30 or 5 a.m. and I had to get up, and I'm not able to. I got usually during the day I got stuff piled up on my bed, but I did find, I don't know if I told you or not, but I found my let me see where it's at. did find my billfold. It was laying out there on the table on the deck. And I'm gonna keep up with that. Found my Medicare card, that I need. Found my Medicare card. And my Medicare card, it started in 2006. So how long would that be? 2006, 2016, 10, 14, 17 years. 17 years. And I got this little card was in my billfold that I printed up. It's got my name and address and I think I got a phone number on it. No, it's got my email on it in case something happened to me and I come incapacitated. And my expired driver's license. This was, let's see, this actually, it's been dead a while. I've noticed since I've been started messing with pickles and jalapenos and stuff, my taste is getting used to stronger peppers. Cause some of them peppers I've canned were hot ones, and I like them. They're spicy. And I usually wouldn't eat anything spicy. I wouldn't even take pepper. Of course, I won't. If I have fried eggs, I've got pepper on them. If I have a bowl of grits, I'll pepper it. So I've noticed that I'm starting to get to like stuff more with more spice on it. Man, I'll tell you what, you know what? If all this pain don't go away here in the next day or two, I might wind up going to the hospital. I'm afraid if I go to the hospital, it's almost a given they're going to admit me. And I don't want to go in there. And I got thinking, they always ask, you got any tightness in your chest? Well, I do have tightness in my chest area, but it's in my back and my chest, and it started after I did that fall where I flipped my scooter backwards when I backed into that hole. And I want to say special thanks to Barbara, one of my subscribers, Barbara Everett. She's bought me a new battery charger for my scooter, the good battery charger. You can get one for about anywhere from $14 to $20, but that's only a 2 amp. And they don't last very long. But she sent me enough money to get the good one that's $52. Oh boy, pain in my back. And but it'll be 2 or 3 days before it gets here. Boy, I wish that sharp pains would go away. I've kind of got my days planned out, the next 2 or 3 days planned out, as long as nothing don't happen. I swear, my daughter's spending a lot of time over there at Joe's, that beauty salon that he just opened. Their grand opening was yesterday. She spent a lot of time. She's over there right now. I wonder if there's some hanky-panky going on there. I don't know. If I ask her, she'll probably. She, you know, she ordered me something off of Amazon that I needed. And the next day after she ordered it, I said, "Is it going to be here today?" And she said, "No, it won't be here till Thursday," which is still 3 days away. And when she told me how long it would be, I went, and she got all hyper and upset, said, "Well, that's what you told me to order," and blah, blah, blah. I didn't go, because she thought I'm thinking she did something wrong. I was just going, because I wanted it faster than that. And she gets really strung out for these little things, something like that. It wasn't directed at her. It was direct. I wasn't happy with the way how long it was going to take, because I'm used to getting stuff. Usually when I order, I say I can't order nothing off of Amazon, because I've lost my link to my Amazon account. I lost my link to my StreamYard account. I lost my link to a couple of my emails, and they have to do everything for me. And just like I don't have my tip jar, my PayPal tip jar on my YouTube channel. It's actually Donovan's, because I lost my account somehow. I can't remember what happened. But everything has to go through them, which is perfectly safe. You know, people leave me money, I get it. But I wish, sometimes I get aggravated that I really don't have direct control over anything of mine now. And I need Joe. Oh, man. Let me take a drink of water. Oh. Anyhow, that's where I'm at. But Barbara, thank you so much, dear. I appreciate it. She's helping me out a lot here, and I hope she ain't hurting herself. And somebody told me last Sunday when I did my last live stream to put my address up there, and he was gonna send me some hats. So I'm looking forward to that. But I found this is the only hat I got left. But them other hats that my daughter threw away because it's all peed on them or something, Man, I wish I could have caught that. I think it went in the washer. I could have. But that's the way her mama was. My wife was like that. You know, like my wife, if she seen me set a dish or something down on the floor that had some leftover food in it, and I knew my dog would like it, I'd set it down and let her eat out of the dish or the little bowl, and my wife would raise, holy hell. Don't you let that dog eat out of that dish or that bowl, you know, and why not? Because you're going to wash it. It's going to be clean. There ain't no germs going to stick to it if you wash them. But that's, my wife was like that, and I think that's the way my daughter is too. Oh, man. It seems like the closest to what time I want to go to bed, I start getting these chest and back pains. Oh, man. I hurt. But yeah, I'm going to try to get some of that stuff I'm wanting to plant in the ground. I want to get it in the ground. And I'm wanting to plant some potatoes too. I would love to pickle some green tomatoes. I like to have oh boy. You know, in 1952, 1953, they built this ocean liner that was going back and forth from New York to Southampton, somewhere in England. And it was a super nice, it's called the SS United States. It was the world's fastest. And I think it was the world's biggest at that time. And I used to, I'd look at pictures of that and boy, I'm like, boy, I wish I could go on a cruise on that and everything. But that was before I was in the military. And I had to one time when I was coming back from Europe, I had to come out on the boat. And that's the first and only time I've been on a big ship, you know, ocean-going ship. And you can't run fast. You couldn't get me on a ship free of charge. I ain't lost a dang thing out there in that ocean. And when I was coming back on the thing about the middle, it took about 9 days. And it was a major storm going on, and that ship was rolling and everything, and you look out across there and you see a big valley of water. Then all of a sudden it rolled over and you'd have a big mountain you looking at the water. And then I get to thinking about, boy, there's a lot of water between me and New York where the ship was heading. I ain't lost nothing out there. And I get seasick real easy. No, sir, I haven't lost a thing out there. And I'm the same way about countries that I wouldn't go. There's some countries I wouldn't go to. I would love to be able to go there and see them. But with stuff that happens in the world today, I've not lost a thing. I went to Russia one time on a tour when I was in the military. It was 5 days, if I remember right. Well, I ain't lost a dang thing in Russia now. I haven't lost anything in Syria. I haven't lost anything in Egypt. Just countries I will not go to, and a lot of the countries that's on the African continent, stuff. I ain't lost nothing over there, and I don't want to go there. The places I would love to go, I would love to go back to Germany for a visit. My brother lives over there, Robert. He lives in Mainz, Germany. And I don't know what made him do. He was in the Army. And it was in the 70s. He was in the Army, and he deployed. He was sent to Germany. And he got over there, and he met this German woman. And this German woman was about 10 years older than him. And she was a widow. And he married her. And then when he come up for discharge again, he took the discharge and stayed in Germany. And he has been there ever since. He come home one time in 1982. And that we kind of had a family reunion which consisted of all my brothers and sisters, my whole brothers and my half brothers and everything. My stepbrother, he wasn't there. But my mother was there, her husband, and all my brothers and sisters and their family. And that was in 1982. How long has that been now? 82, 92, 2002, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. It's been about 30 something years. Haven't seen him. And don't reckon I ever will see him again, but he's a half brother. I'm not exceptionally close to him or anything. Matter of fact, the only sibling that I'm close to, or I'm the closest to, is my brother George. But there's 9 of us. And one of them, Joe, my youngest whole brother, he died. He was a Vietnam vet, combat veteran, Purple Heart and all that stuff. Matter of fact, he had 2 Purple Hearts. But that's been, he died in, let's see, he died in 1987. He was drinking a lot, and he was laying on, he fixed him a meal. He lived by himself, and the last thing he ate was garden peas and mushrooms with butter. I read the report, the autopsy report, and it tells what was in his stomach and all that stuff. But he went to sleep smoking, dropped a cigarette on something, and he didn't die from the flames. There was no flames, it was just smoke. He died from the smoke inhalation. That was in '87. That was Joe. And at the time, and you know what? When he died, I was on his life insurance policy. It wasn't a whole lot of money, it was a few $1,000s. And of course, I paid for his funeral and everything. And his kids and one of my brothers, Michael, was upset that I was the only one, I was the only one that was a beneficiary on his insurance. And I remember that day that we were sitting at the funeral home, and somebody had something to do with the legal stuff, mentioned that I was the only one, that I was the only beneficiary on his life insurance. And that's when one of my brothers that was sitting there, and he jumped up and he said, "Well, I guess I'm out of here then." But he was upset that he wasn't the beneficiary. I don't know why. And I think his kids thought there'd be money left over for them to give to them. And it wasn't much, I think it was like it might have been a $10,000 policy. Well, there wasn't nothing to give to his kids. I paid for all that. And he died down south, in South Florida, and I had to pay for him to be transported all the way back up here for the funeral and stuff, So I tell you what, funny things go on when there's money involved. And there wasn't that much money. But I was more upset at my other brother than I was his kids. His kids, they were just kids. They were young kids. I don't know, but his son had got all his stuff out of that apartment where he was living, and there was a box there with all his Army medals, Purple Hearts, and all that stuff in that box. And why his son should have kept that, but he didn't. He gave it to me. And later on, I was going to give it back to his son or his oldest daughter. But turns out I wound up losing them in the fire. I had some stuff stored out there in this building of mine out there. It was a little shop. And it burnt down one day and burned all that stuff up in it. So, of course, I ain't got it to give back to him. I could get the metals replaced, but it would take some doing. Anyhow, folks, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I'll see you in the next one. Barbara, thank you so much. I'm going to be trying to work in my garden tomorrow. See ya.